Hello, we are live. I think there was just something on my face.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse us, here we are.
No, I think it was lipstick.
It probably was.
It was like a little thing on our nose.
It wasn't lipstick on my teeth, it was lipstick on my nose. Who would have thunk?
Anyway, hi,
Hello.
it's Charlotte and Jessica. We're
Here we
here
are.
from Aragon Wine Market in Pensacola, Florida.
That's right.
We always have to say where we're from because
Absolutely.
these days we've got people watching from all over the world even.
That's right.
So it's pretty
It's
neat.
the new normal. So we're excited that we have this format to be able to share these wines with you no matter where you are. So I love, friends have commented. I know that we have family members that have commented from afar and friends that are not here in Pensacola. So we certainly want to welcome you.
Yeah.
To Aragon.
Yeah, the new normal, and we will talk about that a little bit later when we say goodbye and tell you what's in the future, because we've got some exciting things coming up. But for now, we got through 4th of July.
Yeah, absolutely.
How was your 4th of July?
It was awesome. Had a relaxing weekend in Destin with my best friend and her husband, all of our kids. They had a pool and
that's awesome.
Hung out. We drank a couple of the wines that we had over the last few weeks that I hadn't been able to share with her because we've been here. Yeah. And it was a wonderful, wonderful weekend with family. How about you?
It was good.
Yeah.
I stayed close to home. For those you don't know, and why would you? 4th of July is my second favorite holiday after Halloween, and because I love fireworks, and I know.
Which I didn't know that. That's adorable.
I do. I love fireworks. And so I was sitting on the porch, and I was looking at fireworks in Gulf Breeze because I could see them at a distance. And, the thing about fireworks is it's nice to be up close, but I was enjoying what I could enjoy,
Josh, will you do mine?
which is fireworks from a distance in Gulf Breeze because they had a lot going on. And the next thing I know, right across the street, this guy comes up and starts making, like literally right across the street, does a decent show. And I was like, thank you, universe.
Yeah, that's right.
I needed that. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But I also don't know, I do have a new little puppy who got to watch the fireworks up close and personal and was not as impressed as I was.
I was going to say, probably not a fan.
No.
Probably not a fan of those loud noises.
Said, no, it's not cool. It was his first experience with fireworks, and he said, no thanks.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we made it through 4th of July. Blues have been canceled, unfortunately. So, next is my birthday.
That's right. That's the next national holiday.
The next holiday? Oh, my birthday.
Yes.
So we actually we do have this planned for a virtual wine tasting plan for my birthday. We're going to do bubbles and some of my favorite bubbles.
That's right.
And Senorita Bubblita.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that we might have a special little guest at my birthday virtual wine tasting. You'll love him dearly. He's only 7 months old, and we'll see how that goes.
Oh, that sounds fun.
So anyway, how this works.
Yeah.
Every week we announce ahead of time which wines we're doing for the virtual wine tasting. This week we're doing the Sean Minor wines. Mm-hmm. So hopefully everybody's gotten their Sean Minor wines in. We're doing the Sauvignon Blanc. And we are doing the Willamette Valley Pinot Noir.
Point North.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's got different names. Made by Sean Minor, but
that's right.
It's different names. So we'll ask them about that today too, because we've got somebody from Sean Minor Winery joining us, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So hopefully you've gotten your wines. Mm-hmm. We're going to go ahead and add everybody in. Hopefully you will also have questions.
Yeah, definitely. We want your feedback. If you want to post it in the comments or, send us a message. Honestly, if you're watching our individual watch parties and you want to go back to Aragon's main page, that's how we'll see the comments and be able to know what your thoughts are if you're sharing the wines with us or if you just had a general wine question. I said to Charlotte many weeks ago, I feel like a stupid question that I might feel that I'm asking as a novice isn't really a stupid question because lots of people have them. And
we all have this.
We're only going to learn by drinking more wine and asking the questions. So let's start with Michael Fix.
We're going to add Mike Fix into it, and he's from Winebow. He's our handy Winebow rep. Everybody knows him. We get to see him weekly with us. He's got a lot of good knowledge. And hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Quarantine hair and beard coming back into fashion again.
Say that again.
I said, got the full quarantine beard going today.
Perfect. It suits you quite well.
Ready to rock.
All right. And then we've got Stuart Barker, who is hey Stuart.
Hello.
Stuart is joining us from the Sean Minor Winery. He's part of the Sean Minor family, as I understand it, because they are a tight-knit little winery from what they say. So nice to see you, Stuart.
Nice to see you, Charlotte and Jessica. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the warm welcome.
Where are you joining us from now?
I'm joining you from Fairfax, California, which is a town just north of the San Francisco Bay Area. So I'm just south of Sonoma.
Nice, beautiful area.
Yeah, absolutely.
How are you faring with the quarantine issues?
Well, I'm probably driving my wife and kids crazy, but other than that, I think we're dealing with it. As I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a new normal.
Yeah, that's right.
We are a close-knit family. We're small from the company standpoint. There's really three of us that do what I do. And we spend our time flying around the country working with our wholesalers. None of us have stepped on a plane since the beginning of March. It's highly unlikely that we'll be doing anything like that through the end of the year.
Yeah.
So, what we're doing is we're trying to get creative on how we can, work with our wholesalers and sell more wine and you guys. And the consumers trying to develop and see it behind it.
Yeah, that was definitely our motivation. Whenever everything started really getting serious, Charlotte and I and the team had a conversation. It was like, how do we connect with our customers and, continue our love of wine, our passion of wine, and share these beautiful wines with people when we know that we're going to have to do things differently.
Yeah.
And so this virtual wine tasting, while I would like to think that we came up with it, we certainly didn't. People all over the world are doing it. And we're so thankful for that, and especially for people like you, Stuart, because we're being able to connect with, direct family members of the winery, winemakers, speaking with people in France and Australia and all over California.
Yeah.
And that just, opens up that, the beautiful thing about social media is that's why we say, hey, we're in Pensacola, Florida, because you never know who's going to catch on to it, log on to it, start watching it, and hopefully enjoy these amazing wines. You started touching on the family business, and there are only a couple of you that fly and are unable to fly around the country now. Sean Minor Wines have been in business for 14 years, which is amazing. It's distributed in 49 states, which is absolutely beautiful. I love that the Pinot Noir, it's, top seller right there. One of the cute things that I thought was adorable was the story about the four bears, which I guess we can start talking about.
Yeah, tell us about
the Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
The four bears, Sean and his wife and their children. Yeah. Give us a little insight to that story.
Absolutely. So yes, we released our first wine in 2005. The winery, LLC name is actually Four Bears Winery, so it's named after Sean's four children. I think you have the back of that label. If you guys have the Sauvignon Blanc in front of you, and also the Point North that we did today as well, you'll see those four little nipples at the bottom right side of the label. That's Sean's four children, Nick, Mike, and Charlie. So there's four types of four bears. So they figured, they were gonna inherit the winery anyway. So why not name it after them?
Fair enough. Yeah, absolutely.
The kids seem to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah,
as they should be. That's
a
right.
Story.
Really cute story.
Thank you. But yeah, so we introduced the Four Bears here in 2005, and in 2009 we introduced the Signature series. We won't be tonight, but they're a little bit slower production, a little bit more appellation. The Four Bears really represent the majority of our business. been very successful in American as well. And you know, I think like the whole family of wine, really over deliver great things for product, really great quality juice in there, and the price point, but hopefully continue to exceed your expectations.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of static on your microphone, but you know, I definitely agree that the price point, and you know, we've got it at $15 a bottle, is absolutely beautiful. You know, it's crisp and delicious, and certainly a really drinkable bottle.
I think that's what Sean Minor and his wife kind of focused on when they first started. Was let's find some great quality wines that are grapes so that we can make some great quality wines at an affordable price. Because I mean, back, you know, think about, you know, 14, 15, you know, 20 years ago in Napa, especially, I mean, you couldn't touch anything under, you know, 30, 40 bucks, you know, that was good quality. And so to be able to get the quality for a great price, it's I think a testament to what they've done with the winery.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we like to say there's sometimes there's some evil involved in that price, you know, and Napa Valley Cab continues to grow. The ton of Napa Cab grapes these days averages about 7,000 a ton. A ton makes about 60 cases of wine. That number doesn't really go anytime soon. So it has been really challenging with all medical as well. And I can touch on Sean's background a little bit and share with you.
Yes, please.
He's had a really interesting background. If you've ever been to our website, Sean Minor Wine, you can see that Sean looks pretty young. He's one of those guys that has good luck as his wife as well. But his career was actually starting at BV Winery in Rutherford. Was iconic Napa Valley winery before heading up to Willamette Valley in Oregon, where he ran two state wineries as general manager. He was very instrumental in increasing. I think I can hear myself echoing.
Yes, it sounds like the microphone is a little bit underwater and there's a bit of an echo, so it's hard to depict a bit of what you're saying, and it's such good information. I definitely want to follow it. So I don't know, we'll keep kind of working through it. A couple of times it got better when, I don't know, you sat back or forward, and I can't tell which one.
Try back first, and then we'll try forward.
Okay, that's worse.
Okay.
Oh, that was good.
How about that? Is that better?
Yes.
All right.
We can hear you. So King Estate.
So he was there at King Estate for 5 years as general manager, and I believe he took over the helm at King Estate. They were only in 11 states. He managed 4,500 acres during his tenure there. When he left, he was producing over 100,000 cases and distributing wine in all states.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was, reading through a few things and looking at the story that's on, of course, the website. And just a personal story. The first Pinot Noir that I ever drank was King Estate, and fell in love with. I lived in Oregon and Portland for a short period of time for a couple of contracts, and just fell in love with Oregon Pinots. Specifically Willamette Valley, and I really enjoyed seeing that. Just that connection that was the first Pinot that I had ever had. And it was amazing to open my eyes to a whole new level of wine that was not the, Merlot or what I had initially known. So anyway, that was just my personal note on that. It was like, that's the first Pinot that I ever had.
Pinot is just such a distinct, unique character.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a big passion for us, a big passion of Sean's. That's why we make war.
Well, getting back to the Sauvignon Blanc, let's describe it for people who didn't get a chance to get a bottle of it. It's obviously it's fixed.
That's the thumbs down if they didn't get a bottle.
Oh, okay.
We only have 2 bottles left, so we were almost there.
Yeah. So it's light, it's crisp.
Definitely.
But tell us a little bit more about how it's made and what you think about it, and maybe even give us like a food pairing. I know, to me, I think Sauvignon Blanc, I think goat cheese always. But maybe you can give us a little more advice on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Be happy to. I think, Sauvignon Blanc is an interesting one. The whole market today seems to be dominated with New Zealand style, coming out of the south from Marlborough. That classic cool climate Sauvignon Blanc, which tends to bursting with gooseberry, grapefruit, and then you have that slightly warmer California, which gets a bit more like with the tropical flavors, the lime and grapefruit. We're kind of like right between the two.
Right.
These grapes are coming a combination primarily from Sonoma, from the cool region, and then a little bit from Lodi, from the warmer region. How's that? How's the sound right now? Is that okay?
It's good, right? It's good, right? It'll be good for about 30 seconds. I was able to make out that you were talking about from Marlborough and New Zealand, and then coming to
versus California. It's kind of in between, and I agree. It does have some qualities that are New Zealand-ish, but it's definitely not in New Zealand.
You kind of think of Sauvignon Blanc and you think about word pyrazine, the flavors that you associate with like bell peppers and green beans and even asparagus to some degree. And with that Lodi sorting, we do some cabinet management where the grapes get a little bit more sun exposure, you get a little bit more ripeness, and that's really where you pick up more of that tropical fruit. Something else that we do, we actually ferment a small portion of the wine in neutral barrels.
Okay,
right.
Neutral barrels.
Right. I was thinking about that from the spec sheet. That neutral barrels.
It's 6 years old, and so about 25% is fermented in those barrels. It kind of softens it up a bit, and then we do about 3 weeks aging on the yeast, which gives it a little bit of texture. Some folks will say, it tastes like there's some Semillon in there. Possibly that's a result of that loose aging and stirring. But it's all 100% Sauvignon Blanc. So Sean always says Sauvignon Blanc can sound like you feel like you're sucking on a lemon. So this really sort of takes the edge off, gives it a little bit more of that really tropical fruit, but you still get some great acid in the finish.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand. I agree that it does have like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. If I had to say what it reminds me of the most, it would probably be a French Sauvignon Blanc, maybe like a Sancerre or something.
I'll take that compliment.
Indeed, it was. Because that's my favorite. I'm not a huge.
That would be classified as four-man Sancerre.
Yeah, good. Yes.
I definitely get the hints of minerality in it, and that pulls me back to that French Sancerre. It's that crispness, and it's got some depth, but it's still so light and refreshing.
Well, and it's approachable with food because I think some of those that are from New Zealand can be, not that they're all that way, but some of them can be so extracted, so tart, that it's really hard to pair with food unless you get the exact right food, because it's just too much flavor to make it simple.
I agree with you. My favorite pairing with this wine is actually Asian food.
Asian food. Oh.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
It goes really well with spice. It's got a little bit of that sweetness, but you still get really great acid on the finish. So it kind of really rounds out the flavors nicely. It can take a lot of heat. It's the porch pounder. I know you guys like to sit out on your patios in Florida on those cool summer nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of hot
right now.
Nights.
So
yes, in Florida, 103 degrees in the shade.
We got a fan on fix out there.
Yeah.
My in-laws live in Orlando, and I know the Pensacola. Well, I know kind of Destin seaside area very well, so I'm very familiar with that area and the climate.
Well, we hope you'll come back again.
Absolutely.
I'd love to.
Well, when we're all traveling again, right?
When we're all traveling again. Yeah, when will that be? I don't know. So, the Sauvignon Blanc, I love the aromatics of the wine. The last two vintages, I mean, crushing the grape, literally pulling into the bottle, you could smell the aromatics from 100 yards away.
So you mentioned we were talking about price points and that sort of thing, and how this is a great price point. Sean Minor, I think this was one of their first ones that they made, Sauvignon Blanc. But they also do from California, Cab and a Pinot, a Rosé. What am I missing? Something? Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. So under this tier, the Four Bears California series, the Sauvignon Blanc, there's a Central Coast Chardonnay, which only sees 15 in the barrel and 15 stainless steel. That's our number one wine. Pinot Noir, California appellation. It's fruit from the Monterey area and also Mendocino. It's our best-selling red.
Yeah.
Cab is Paso Robles.
Yeah. I've been selling the wine here at Aragon Wine Market for quite some time. And the first wine that we sold here was the Pinot Noir. It is consistently our best seller here. We would get a case in, it'd be out. Case in, it'd be out. So that's my first, wine that I was familiar with, but I'm a big Chardonnay drinker. The Chardonnay is great. Rosé is fairly new, I guess.
So rosé, we do a limited release. Rosé is actually led off from our Sean Minor Signature Series Pinot style. We did not release them this year. Should we try again with the computer?
Say that one more time.
As soon as you say, should we try again? It's crystal clear. It's just, I'm not sure.
I'm moving my computer like 2 inches.
That's a little bit better.
Maybe it's just having a hard time with my accent.
Well, no, you sound your accent sounds pretty.
The accent sounds wonderful.
Spot on.
Not at all.
We like it.
By the way, you guys have the accent. I speak the language.
There we go. I know I have an accent.
Oh, wow. Come on now.
That was a low blow.
So Fix is going to jump in on that one.
So
No. Did we mention Cuvée Nicole Marie? Mention that there's a red blend. I didn't hear that. There's also a red blend.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the lineup of the wines. There's also a red blend as well that's available called Cuvée Nicole Marie, which is really great, nice red blend, because red blends are fairly popular amongst people, and this has got Merlot, Petit Syrah, Zinfandel. So that would be another one for just people to know about that we didn't mention. So something worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So he's referring to one of the wines on the Signature Series. So there's 4 types in that tier. So there's Sonoma Coast Chardonnay, Sonoma Coast Pinot, North Coast Cab, and then the North Coast Nicole Marie. Nicole Marie is a red blend named after Sean's wife. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And as he mentioned, it is a blend. It's primarily it's Merlot driven with Petit Syrah and Zinfandel, sometimes Petit Verdot as well.
So you said Merlot and
Zinfandel,
okay,
Petit
that's
Syrah.
so clear when you say this. When you say it, sometimes it's just like so clear. It's funny. I don't know if maybe if you slowed down a little, because I feel like when you talk, just in saying like certain words,
It's
it comes
definitely
so
a
clear.
feedback.
But when it comes like into a whole sentence, it makes it a little more.
All right, so we'll try this. I will slow things down.
Okay, awesome.
If you have 2 hours.
That's fine. That's fine. We're
What Fix mentioned, I'd like to touch on the Nicole Marie because the story is great.
okay. Tell us.
Nicole has Italian lineage. She still has family in Tuscany. Sean tells of a funny story years ago visiting family, being sent to the local winery where there were 3 choices of wines: red, white, and pink. You buy it by the liter, they put the tax stamp on it, fill it in a plastic jug, take it home, fill up the red wine bottles for dinner that he swears have never been washed out before. And everybody loved this amazing kick-ass red. Nobody knew what was in it. It just went with everything. And that was their daily red. So we wanted to create something that was just easy drinking, great with anything off the grill, with burgers, with ribs, with steaks. The reason it's Merlot driven is because we used to make Merlot, which everyone loved in the industry, but the consumer never bought it. So that became the base of the blend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun wine. You know, it's super dark fruit driven, lots of dark cherry and spice. There's a little bit more oak on it. It's definitely big, a little bit bigger on the oaky style, but still restrained in the finish. We call it the cab drinkers blend. Cab drinkers love to drink it, even though there's no cab in it.
So do you think a single variety Merlot will come back?
Not anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard
Unless they make a movie that, you know, doesn't just completely annihilate the grape again.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, it's and Merlot is delicious. I mean, and nowadays, some of the Merlots you get are really, really nice and expensive, but we're going to move to the Point North.
Okay.
Let me finish up. Let's all finish our Sauvignon Blanc. We should give people
Cheers, everybody.
We should give people
cheers.
We should give people a 5-minute warning. All right, first of all, cheers.
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 Certainly.
We should give people a 5-minute warning. Say, hey, we're about to move to the next wine. So chug a log.
Why aren't they finishing their wines? Why aren't they finishing their wines? Look, what? Come on now, let's go. It's
Everyone's scrambling in the kitchen.
This is Florida. People wake up and start drinking wine.
Right. What did you call them, Stuart? Porch pounders?
Porch pounders.
Yes. The Sauvignon
There's
Blanc.
5 o'clock in Florida. Every time, all day long is 5 o'clock in Florida, as we know.
All right. So
love Florida.
First question about the Point North is why the name change? Why not do a Sean Minor Willamette Valley?
Great question. We are a big, or used to be a big on-premise driven sales company. Obviously, that's kind of shrunken to some degree at the moment. We're hoping it's going to come back. But 30% or more of our business is on-premise. And while we really wanted to maximize our opportunities with restaurants, why not give it a different name to avoid repetition on the wine list?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it would have been too confusing, as I mentioned, you know, with the 3 Pinots we already make, to add a 4th in the Willamette Valley. So we're pointing north from California. By the way, after Sean left King Estate, he did move over to Benton Lane Winery.
Yeah.
And he was president there for 3 years. So there's strong ties to Oregon. And 2 of his children were born there as well.
So he's got a big Oregon connection.
He does. Actually, since you mentioned that, the 18 vintage was bottled at King Estate.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Wasn't made there. We don't buy any grapes from Ed King, but Sean and Ed are old friends. They're actually both Kansas boys.
Yeah. I will say that I've been to that property a couple of times, and it is beautiful. In Eugene, Oregon. And I will say that, not to take away from the Sean Minor presentation, but King Estate is quite nice, and they do a great job at what they do. So
they do, absolutely. It's an iconic winery, as you mentioned, in Eugene, so kind of the southern end of the Willamette Valley. These grapes, we work with about 8 growers in Oregon. So how's the sound going, by the way?
We're great
Much
right
better.
now. It is much better.
Yeah, much better.
These grapes are coming from 8 growers, primarily from the Dundee Hills. And so just southwest of Portland, just below the Shalehem AVA. It's a great area to be. Very nutrient-rich soil, lots of iron deposits in the soil, so lots of minerality to the wine. In Dundee Hills, you just get this incredible silky cherry red fruit profile to the wine with just a touch of earth. Great place to grow grapes because the Shalehem Mountains are very protective from a weather standpoint. So a little bit more yield. We all know that Pinot is such a finicky grape to grow, and, particularly in Oregon. I think in California, we're a warm viticultural site searching for cooler areas to grow our Pinot. In Oregon, it's the complete opposite. It's a cool viticultural area, and we're looking for rainy spots.
Yeah. Well, and you said, I mean, like California is pretty. It doesn't seem like it would be, but I mean, it's a pretty tight knit wine community. But even more so in Willamette in Oregon. I mean, they all kind of stick together, know each other. It's maybe what California and Napa and Sonoma were, many years ago. Would you agree?
I would agree. Yeah, it is a close-knit community, absolutely. I think from an AVA and American viticultural standpoint, stricter guidelines. In particular, probably the last year. We have, by law, making a wine in Oregon, using the Willamette Valley grapes and AVA, you have to bottle it in Oregon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the law. And that varietal has to be 90% varietal of Pinot versus only 75 in California. So very protective over that. We're very proud of this wine. And if you drink California Pinot on a regular basis, you know how different Oregon can taste.
Well, this
absolutely, it's delicious. I agree entirely. When our customers come in and say, I like a Pinot Noir, and my first question is always, have you had an Oregon Pinot? Have you had anything from Willamette Valley? And I know Doug just commented. Hi, Doug. We're happy to have you with us. McMinnville. When I lived in Portland, I was in Tualatin. Obviously there are all kinds of beautiful areas, others that have the actual wineries and vineyards. But, this is an incredible bottle of wine.
And where is it? Where do you make this one?
So this one is made at a custom crush facility in a town called Cottage Grove, which is down towards Eugene, so the bottom end of Willamette Valley. And then it was trucked back into Eugene, King State.
So for people that don't really understand the custom crush aspect, can you maybe explain what that means to?
Yeah, so typically it's a work. It can be most of the time it's a working winery that has a big enough facility to enable smaller vintners, producers to come actually make their wine at that winery. So it's a kind of a rental winery, if you will.
Yeah,
they can store it there. They can age it there, that kind of stuff. Sometimes they'll have a bottling line there as well. Some of them are working wineries. Some of them are just actual production facilities.
Yeah, which is awesome for smaller producers that can't, maybe can't afford or just don't have the space at their place to develop something like that.
Very much so. And if we had bricks and mortar to our winery, add $10 or $15 per bottle.
So if we came out there to California to see Sean Minor, where would we meet him?
Well, Sean is in Sonoma and or Napa probably twice a week. So he resides in Sacramento, which is just over an hour away. And we'd be happy to take you guys to lunch and taste them on our most recent vintages.
That's awesome. I hear that he might be bottling right now.
Matter of fact, we are. Yeah, we're bottling Pinot. So basically what we've done today is we've trucked up the finished juice from our facility in San Miguel, which is just north of Paso Robles. And we've taken the juice up to Sonoma Wine Company in Santa Rosa, which is like an hour north of here, and we're bottling it. So it comes up basically in big temperature controlled tanks, very romantic.
Yes, with this foot stomping and all.
Well, that may have been done in the past, yeah.
So let us talk about this one.
It's 100% Dijon clone. Yes.
It's actually Pommard and Dijon.
Okay.
Tell us about that. What does that mean?
There's a blend. I think there's three different Dijon clones in there as well, and 555 and 777 are in there as well. I'm not sure what that is. That would be a Sean production question. But you definitely get a lot of that dark and red fruit character, and a little bit of that chini dust, which is pretty evident with 777 clone as well. You know, the one thing to remember with Pinot is you can grow Pinot even in a hot climate, but it will ripen too quickly, and you just don't get the true nuances and characteristics that grape is able to offer. And that cool, slow growing season that the Willamette Valley provides really those flavors and nuances to come together, come to fruition. So that's really what's so significant about the Dundee Hills. There's also some fruit in there from Eola Amity, which is just a little bit further south. So again, we're getting a little bit of room as well, which provides just a little bit more package into the wine. And then we barrel age that Pinot for 6 months with a very small amount of oak.
And so, how long have you guys been making this, the wine? Because I know, I mean, obviously the California connection, y'all have been making those wines for quite some time now, but it seems to me like these have been maybe in the last 4 years.
Yeah, this is our 5th vintage.
Say that again?
This is our 5th vintage.
Okay.
2018. And we make about, you're on the money. We make about 5,000 cases of this wine.
Still pretty small production.
I'm sorry?
Still pretty small production.
Yeah, relatively small. Sean will be up in Oregon in about 2 weeks to bottle 19 with his daughter.
Yeah, well, it's delicious. So I'm just glad that. So like I said, when I first started selling these wines, it was the Sean Minor Pinot, which was awesome and is still probably your most popular. But then when you came out with the Willamette Valley, I was like, and now
Absolutely.
this is what we've got as well. And so
you can see on the back, Charlotte, that it's still the Sean Minor wine, but it also has the children's initials on the back as well.
Yeah. Because people come in and they want Sean Minor. They ask for Sean Minor. But then we have a separate group saying, what do you have in Willamette? So then to say, well, we do have Willamette, but it's also Sean Minor, kind of ups it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nicely done. And I would imagine that wine probably sells in Florida in the low 20s.
Yep, we've had
21.
That's right. Priced at $21. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't know if we talked about the Sauvignon Blanc was 15.
15.
So, and I don't know exactly the price on the 4 beers, but I mean it's still in that
probably $6.15, I would guess.
Yeah, I mean it's a great price, whatever it is. It's always, and because for me, I feel like it's really hard to get a delicious Pinot at a good price. It's great. I mean, it's easy to get a good Pinot at a expensive price.
Right.
You know, there's plenty of those out there. But to get Pinot in particular, because, I mean, Cabs, Chardonnays, whatever, you could probably find one. But Pinot is hard.
Yeah.
Sean Minor was the first one that I was like, I can guarantee you're going to like this. And it's a great price.
Yep. It's definitely medium bodied and there's some elegance to it. It's beautiful and got so much flavor. There's cherry in it and lots of different things that I pick up when I'm tasting it in those flavors. And it's aged in French oak.
French oak for 6 months.
6 months.
Which is not a cheap process.
No.
No, it's not. No, and only about 20% of those barrels are new. You mentioned earlier, and thank you for the compliment. We're very proud of the wine. A lot of this is a testament to the relationship.
It's not any better when you speak slowly. It's okay. We're just,
You're fine.
we're good.
We're all
We've got
excited.
18 people with us and they're loving it, so that's okay. If they can muffle through it, so can we.
Hopefully they've heard me. I feel terrible.
Yeah, you have given us such great information. Carol has, one of our wonderful customers just said, I'm learning so much.
Oh, that's a cool perspective. Stay there.
Now you can see my kitchen.
Oh, let us see your house. Take us for a walk.
It's really small.
Ah, it looks so cute.
Oh, it's lovely.
It is lovely.
There, and that's kind
You
of
have
our
any pets?
living room over there, and there's a dog wandering around the house somewhere.
Oh, I said, do you
What
have any pets?
What kind of puppy?
She's a Jack Russell.
Oh, busy dog.
Well, she's old. She's 16, so she's kind of retired now.
Oh, she's retired. That's so cute.
She's gone
We
deaf.
both lost our loves, Charlotte.
Of our
And
lives.
I had a Great Dane, so vastly different from your animals.
Oh.
But my Great Dane lived to be 14, Ebony.
That's
And my
incredible.
Havanese just passed away in last September at 13 and a half. Yeah, but I got a new puppy. So, life goes on.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
we're dog
pet friendly.
lovers.
That's right.
We love
Here
the
in
dogs
Aragon.
here. So,
We are too at the winery very much. Sean and
Of
Nicole
course.
are
We love that.
of
very
course.
much. But yeah, I mean, to conclude on the relationship between Sean and the brothers is amazing. We basically don't buy bulk fruit.
Yeah.
We work with virtually the same growers for almost a decade.
Wow.
So again, it's a testament to Sean's relationship. Sean gets the final say on when we pick. And it's really that consistency. And with the exception of the odd cool vintage, we've been really fortunate to produce just very consistent quality wines.
I actually wanted to touch on that. I went to pull up on the website the spec sheets on awards and accolades. But it was so many pages long that I felt like it might be an inadequate use of our time because there were so many awards and accolades for the wine. I don't know if our customers can see this, but that's just 2020, and it went many years back. And so I love that involvement. I think it's always so nice to know of a winemaker
nice
that
to
has
get
that direct connection and involvement, and that passion continues through to, be so involved that you are the final say of that pick and of that, project moving forward.
No, absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up. We're very proud of the press. We always submit all our new vintages to major wine publications, but we also pay attention to the local rags, particularly here in California. We make a single vintage Chino as well, called San Giacomo Roberts Road. Giacomo family is a third generation grower in Sonoma. They grow. If you guys are familiar with Sainsbury and Chevrolet and Paul, they grow either Pinot or Chardonnay, lots of prestigious wineries. And we make a small Pinot project guys with 200 cases. We just received some wine enthusiasts all on there. Please check us out. Sean Minor Wines. Please follow us on Instagram at Sean Minor Wines.
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
And I was going to comment on that. Shout out to whoever does marketing and is doing the website, because your press kit is amazing. And my access to pictures and immediately being able to pull things to share with our customers is beautiful. So I don't know if that's important to anybody else, but it was great for me as I do our newsletter, to be able to access that information
Sure.
and to notate, specifications, sell sheet, all of those things. It was really beautiful. Even broken down by signature series, California series, the Point North.
Yeah.
Yes, wonderful
Thank
job.
you. Definitely pass on.
Is it Lawrence? Is there a guy named Lawrence? No.
So Larry.
Larry. Oh, well, I call him Lawrence.
So we call him Lawrence, Lars, Larry.
It's like going under
Larry.
Charlotte.
I'm stepping into
Yeah,
Larry.
so Lawrence was,
Larry, Lawrence calls on Florida.
yeah, I can tell. Well, tell Lawrence, give Lawrence my regards.
I will definitely pass on the regards.
I love that.
Good. Well, we hope you guys maybe can come out this way at some point. We would love to host you. We do our wine tastings here. Almost fell. We do our wine tastings here normally on Thursdays, like we're doing, but in the store. And we do love to have people like you guys come and join us. So hopefully at some point you guys can come out and we can have you host you in person.
That's right. When the new normal gets back to a bit more of normal and we can travel again, and
when will that be?
You know, who knows? I don't have that answer, but I'm optimistic that it will be in the very near future.
But we just keeping on like we're doing right now. And I mean, when life gives you lemons, you get tequila and salt.
Or wine.
Or wine.
Fine.
Thank you so much.
It's been so nice to talk to you, and we really appreciate you joining us. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you for having me. You guys are amazing. Really appreciate the support, and would love to meet you in person, hopefully next year.
Hopefully. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Au revoir. À tout à l'heure.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. So that was cool.
That was cool. And Doug, what? Yes, we have a newsletter. Oh my goodness. If you want to Facebook message us your email address, certainly, you're watching us right now on Facebook, and every week, whenever that newsletter goes out, it does post to Facebook directly.
That's right. So
the information does get posted there.
Doug just said, what? You have a newsletter? What? Sign me up. So, yes, we do have a newsletter.
We do.
So what you do need to do is just email us, or if you're in the store, sign up, and we send out once a week.
Sometimes twice.
What we're doing. Yeah, she's very signing up her.
I got to post a note, and she said, wait, you already did that. And I said,
no, it's good. It's good. It's all good. But so we send out usually just once a week, and we say what we're doing for the wine tasting. So, now that we're not doing the wine tastings in store, we're doing, what we're doing for the virtual wine tastings, which is awesome. How cool was that, though, to have somebody from the winery come in? I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, so sign up. We'll let you know what's going on. What else did we send out? Something else interesting recently.
Oh, I know.
Vote for us.
Vote for Aragon Wine Market in the Best of the Coast. Independent news for 20 years. They've been doing this amazing contest, popularity contest.
It means a lot to local businesses.
It really does. And, we are, hello. It means so much to us to have you join us and vote for us. You only have to vote once, so it only happens one time, where other contests you have to vote repeatedly, days and days and days. This is a one-time vote, and once you submit that, you're done, but we would really appreciate it. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to represent Pensacola. We want to be the best wine shop and the best wine tasting.
And it means a lot to local businesses. So
yes, absolutely.
So for next week, let's talk about what we're doing for next week.
Definitely. We are going to start with the Albarino.
So we're mixing it up next week. We're doing instead of Winebow, we love Mr. Fix, Mr. Michael Fix. We love him. But we're doing one little thing next week, and it is through Opeachy. And so it's going to be two different wines. Sorry. Two different wines. We're doing the Albarino, this beautiful Albarino, and we are doing, they're all from Juan Hill. That's the distributor. And then we're doing the Count Blanc, which is a red blend from Juan Hill. So Juan Hill is an importer who brings in different wines, wonderful, incredible wines. And
I'm
back. God.
So sorry.
There's pressure on me. Anyway, we're talking about what we're doing next week.
Yes.
So it's going to be the Juan Hill wines, and I mentioned the Albarino.
Which Albarino is the grape, which I was, we talk about this often, but behind us there's that periodic table of, that is a periodic table of grapes for those of you that didn't know. And Albarino is the grape, and it's absolutely delicious and incredible wine.
Yeah. And so, like I said, hopefully somebody from Juan Hill will be joining us.
We're working on it.
We'll see. So that's the white that we'll be doing. And what's
It's
the price on
$12
it?
a bottle.
$12 a
So
bottle.
a really moderate price point.
Awesome. And then the red that we're doing is the Can Blau, which is a red blend from Spain. All of these are Spanish wines. Juan Hill is a Spanish importer. So
the Albarino is from Galicia. And this one's from Spain. I'll know where it's from by next week when I do my research.
Once we get our stuff together.
Druggers about us.
And
this one's 17.
And 17, it's a red blend. And Can Blau, it's a beautiful bottle as well. And
yeah, I do love this
hopefully
label.
we'll have somebody from Juan Hill joining us. Fingers
Yes.
crossed. And we'll see where we go from there. But
yeah, so definitely. Cheers, Ashley. Absolutely. Cheers to you.
oh wait, Ashley, cheers, ladies. Cheers to you.
I don't
as
know.
well.
Where's our running time? I don't even know what time we're at.
51. We're
Okay.
gonna say goodbye.
I think it's time to bid you adieu. We'll see you next week.
revoir.
Au revoir.
À tout à l'heure. And we'll see you next week.
Bye. Thanks for joining
Bye.
us.